everyone, this is Amy. Welcome today to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I do a Filbert brush design on this green glass bottle. I'm using a number 14 Amagic flat or a Filbert brush, a number 12 Amagic flat brush, a number 12 Amagic round brush, and I do put the links down below if you'd like to purchase through those affiliate links, a number 10 Deerfoot Stippler, and a fine liner by Westonia. Also, I'm going to be using a dotting stylus. You can use anything you want to make dots. You don't actually have to have a specific tool. I do use all FolkArt paints, mixture of the multi-surface and the enamels. I'm using School Bus Yellow, Teddy Bear Brown, Engine Red, and this is the Brushed Metal Antique Gold, and Fresh Foliage. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Now on this one, I'm not going to put the centers in first. I'm going to put the petals in first. I'm going to begin by creating the petals with my Engine Red. And I will start at the top, just kind of making some smaller ones. And just making just really quick little pulls towards the center. Hopefully you can see that. Now I'm going to do another one over here, and I'm just trying to keep these kind of small. And then I'll progressively get bigger. Sorry that my brush hits the camera. It's kind of hard with these long handled brushes. Alright, we'll do another one. And if you're new to my channel, please know that my designs are intended to be simple, to give you inspiration as well as to encourage people to paint. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is dip my same brush, not even rinsing out. I have the School Bus Yellow on it, and so I'm just going to come around and start going over these petals. And just add paint as you feel the need. And I just pull towards the center and I pull it up. Now if you're going over them and you feel like, say like that one is a little bit too transparent, I can always go back over it, add more paint to it. And I don't mind, you know, going over and overlapping as I'm doing that. That just gives it more of a natural feel, because when you have a bouquet of flowers or a floral arrangement, they're not going to be, you know, pristinely separated. They're going to be layered. Alright, so I went over that one just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my fine liner and I'm going to go into my greens, and I need to remember to order some new brushes. I use them a lot so they get kind of rugged looking. Alright, so I just dip in, I just kind of dip in and roll it or tip it in, and I'm using the 3 colors. So I'm going to come in here and figure out where I'm putting my stem. Now when you're doing this, about that. When you're doing this, you know, you can actually do it where you have just the leaves around each individual flower with no stem. I like to pretend that there's a stem on most of mine. You've probably noticed that. And I do put a little curve on it. I don't have it straight. And like these are so close together, it's kind of hard to stick a stem in there. But when you're doing it, if you leave a little separation, and that makes it a little easier. And I always go over it. You can actually do this with a flat brush, that can make a nice line as well. But I just go over it some just to make sure that it's thick. And then we'll just kind of put this aside, and I'll begin to add some leaves. Now on these leaves, I'm going to dip into the thicket, one side into the fresh foliage, and I'll tip into some of the school bus yellow as well. I'll just do that. Alright, so then I'm going to come here. I'm going to have, or try to have, I think it's kind of mixed up here, the lighter part on the top, and I'm just going to go like this, and then I'm going to come back through and add another leaf, and then I'm just going to kind of blend it a little bit. Just kind of makes a nice little shape for the leaf petals. And if you want to add another one, just come down here and do the same thing. And they don't all have to be identical. I actually like it when they're a little bit different, but I'm just going to go over and just kind of blend it in a little bit. Do the same over here. Just come back over it, and then I'll go over it again just to blend it in. If you need more paint, you can always add more paint into this. Again, just to make it opaque. Alright. And then I can come up through here. I'm risking pulling up some of the underneath paint, which is fine. If you mind that, then either don't do it or give it some dry time and then go into it. But you can always go over it. It's okay to have some of that color in there too, though. Sometimes that can really add a lot to your design by pulling in some different colors. Okay, over here I'm going to just do another one coming out. See how easy that is? Very easy. And then do the same thing over here. I'm trying to have the light on the top if at all possible. And it just makes a nice little leaf. And just come up like that. Blend it in a little bit. And then if we want, we can come out here. Let me turn the bottle a little bit. Come out here, and I'm going to blend it with the lighter like that. A little bit harder to see this way because of the glare. I still need to work on my setup here. And let's see here. Let's go. Yeah, I want that on top. A little bit darker on the bottom on this one, and just lightly, don't press down hard, just lightly. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I could keep going because, you know, if you follow me, you know I like my leaves. But then I'm gonna take my fine liner and I'm just gonna pull it into the leaves, and I can come outside of here. I'm just adding the different colors as I go. So some might be green, some might have more of the yellow in them. It's really kind of a mixture. Alright, now we're going to come up here and just go like that. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is take my number 12 round brush. I'm going to stick it into my fresh foliage, and yes, I have a mixture of paint in there because of dipping my brush. But Then I'm just going to come in here and just put a solid color. I'm going to just push down and pull a little bit. They don't actually have to be right at the stem, or they can be. Up to you. Do the same thing over here. And I'm just going to push down and pull. Push down. Now tell me, any of you can do these designs. These are just so simple. So very simple. Get more paint in here. And if you want, you can add them out here. I just think adding like a little bit of a different, I mean, it's, yeah, I guess it is a little different leaf. Just kind of gives it some interest. And then I'm going to come back in here with my brush, adding the 3 different colors. I'm not going to be real particular about it. And here we go. And then I'm doing it over here. Coming up here and adding. And I am a lefty, so I apologize if my hand gets in the way. Try to watch for that. There you go. Last thing I'm going to do is come in here, add my centers. Okay, this is an angled brush. I'm going to put the front part of it into the antique gold, the back end of it into the teddy bear brown, and then I'm going to come in here. Now it's kind of big. I probably should have switched to a different size, but I like it, so I'm going to keep it big. Keep the centers big. And just kind of tap. Again, it's kind of got some glare on it, so it's a little bit hard for me to see, but like that. Come over here. Now again, I've got a little bit of that, the color underneath showing through because it's still wet. Not a problem. Just tap on it. And that center. And you also can do this and then let it dry and go back over it. Because a lot of times I do my centers first, but on this one I wanted to do it the opposite. And you can work your centers to get them exactly the way you want them. Like this one, I'm gonna have to be careful because I have a, well, I guess that is that leaf. I was thinking that was the leaf coming from the other flower. But I could have hit this with a heat gun or hair dryer, and then that wouldn't be an issue, but I'm okay with that. And then let's turn this one. It's kind of leaning this way. And it's going to have a little bit of a bigger center because it's a bigger flower. Like I said, it's much easier to, once you do this, to go back over them once they've dried a little bit. If you want to do more or 2 of them, you can, definitely. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to stick my dotting stylus into the paint, and this is into the School Bus Yellow, and I'm going to do some dots towards the bottom of each flower, or depending on the direction they're going. You can do a lot of dots, a few dots, up to you, or no dots. Again, up to you. I'm just doing these to give you an idea of what you can do, how simple they are to actually still be able to create something pretty. without having to do 25,000 steps, and you're done. All right, so there you have it. Very pretty, very simple. Anyone can do this. I hope you like this video. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, please share this by hitting the share button underneath the video. It'll give you the options of where to share it. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell before you leave. And again, I do appreciate you taking time to watch my videos. Until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.